Whatever path you are on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
Share with all of you. And I think the topic for today, Now is the Time, is a perfect one for this. I was at the lighting of the little Christmas huts downtown, and I was standing between two of the most beautiful women in the world. I had Katrina to my right, a beautiful Katrina, who always takes my breath away, she's so pretty. And to my left, I had a little 4.5, 5-year-old sitting on the shoulders of her papa. And the little girl started a conversation with me because she had something really spiritual and important to share with me that blew my mind. She said that her name was Princess Adele. And when I looked at her in shock, or not shock, but a little surprised, because I thought that Katrina and I were the only princesses there. She says, hello, she says, I am Princess Adele. And she says, I'm not conceited, I'm convinced. I'm covered with goosebumps. I can't stand it. So close your eyes and join me now, please, if you will, in our conviction. In our conviction. We just know that we are one with the power of God, that each and every one of us in this room is a king and a queen, or a prince and a princess. We know that our magnificence is our full expression of the divinity that lies within us. And we also know and recognize that as children we know this incredible divinity, and it's time for us to step into that right now, in this moment now. We embrace our conviction of our power, of our unity with the One, of our ability to manifest the lives of our desires, and to resolve all the problems of this world simply by changing our thoughts and our feelings. We know that as we give more, as we be more, as we reach out more and embrace more, the world just presents to us, the universe presents to us, pressed down and multiplied so much more of all that we desire than we could ever imagine. We embrace in this moment now the abundance of love, life, light, and beauty, and wealth, and health, and all good things that you can imagine. Embrace them and take them as your own. Not with an attitude of conceit, but an absolute attitude of conviction. Every single one of us is a child of this incredible divine creative nature. We have within us the ability to create all that we choose. We embrace this. We step forth with it today, knowing that we bring good into the world. And we release these words, and together we say, and so it is. And you all are princesses and princes. Thank you. And remember, you are, and you're convinced.
Well, hello again.
Hello. Hi.
Am I echoing?
Yes.
Yes, I think I am. So, we're at the last Sunday of November, and the theme for November has been spiritual partnership. And all month long, we've been exploring our partnership or our relationship with different aspects of our life. At the beginning, it was relationships. What are your relationships like? Because it said that our relationships always show up as a mirror for us to understand where we're holding back our true expression, our true self, our expression of love. And then we explored the relationship we have with our health, with our body. And then we explored with Reverend Lyle our relationship to our work and what we do, our activities. And then we looked at, last week, for our amazing winter opulence. Thank you so much. I think that everyone ate too much or took too much home with them and they just couldn't make it here today. I don't know what happened. But thank you so much. It truly was a great event. And so last week during the Winter Opulence events, our Feast and Live auction, I introduced the 5 keys to opulent living. Now, all of these talks have been kind of loosely based on the wonderful book Spiritual Partnership by Gary Zukav, Accessing Our Authentic Power. So today I finish up this series of talks with an exploration into time, your relationship with time, your relationship to the now moment, to what's happening now, to reality. And I love what my teacher Byron Katie says, when you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. So today I talk about reality and what's happening now. And it was funny, during our meditation this morning, I did the metta meditation, the Buddhist loving kindness meditation. And here at the Satya Center we teach spiritual practices such as meditation and prayer and mindfulness and spiritual principles, the laws of the universe. And so during this meditation, we're in our practice of meditation, and all of a sudden this glorious noise, this wave sound was coming through the room, and it sounded like, Ali's got this amazing nature sound of the ocean, and there's a big wave and it's coming. But I had no idea. It was just this weird electronic noise that was being generated. And I thought, this is so funny, because it's in those moments of being annoyed or distracted that we are truly called to follow these practices of staying grounded, staying centered in the now moment. So now is the time. Wasn't it Winston Churchill that said something like that? Now is the time and we are the ones. Now is the time. There was that wonderful book that was written years ago now by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. The now moment. The now moment. So, Eckhart Tolle, has anyone read The Power of Now or heard of Eckhart Tolle? No? Yes, some of you? Well, if you haven't, I encourage you to explore one of his books. There's one that I'll be teaching in the upcoming year, The New Earth. The New Earth. He says, time isn't precious at all. It's an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. That is precious indeed. The more you're focused on time, meaning the past and the future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing that there is. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Make the now the primary focus of your life. But we get distracted, don't we? Don't we get pulled out of the now moments? We have all these beautiful baubles and shiny objects. We've got these smartphones and Facebook and all of these things that distract us and pull us away from really living present in the now. I took a picture at Thanksgiving of my beautiful family, and I need glasses, so I didn't have them on, so I'm just like taking a random picture. And later on I looked at it, and within that room of 7 people, 3 people were looking at their phones. I was just shocked, right in my own family. So we have a myriad of distractions, don't we, that keep us pulled out of this juicy now moment. And you might think, well, what's she on about? What's so great about the now moment? Well, in my practice, in my understanding, the now moment is where everything is. The now moment is where all the juicy stuff happens. The now moment is where love exists. Who wouldn't want to be in the presence of love? It's right here, and it's right now. The now moment is also the point of creation. Everything is created where?
Now.
Now. In the now moment. With our beautiful minds, we create the story about the now. But if you took the story out, your interpretation of the now, and just lived in the now, engaged with your senses, you hear a baby crying. That's the sound of life. That's the sound of love. But we get distracted. There are small distractions, such as iPhones, and then there's bigger distractions. So in his book, Dean Stouler, he wrote a book called the Zen Commandments, not the 10 Commandments, the Zen Commandments. And he says these are not commandments really, but suggestions. 10 suggestions for an inner life of freedom. So he tells this wonderful story. So I'm going to share the story of Fred, Big Fred. I used to have an upstairs neighbor, an old, overweight ex-boxer with bad knees who worked as a janitor. Fred would generally come home with his groceries, a couple of six-packs, and a stack of lottery tickets while I was in the middle of my evening meditation. Through my doors, I would hear his labored breathing and the clanking of his beer bottles as he struggled up the stairs. At first, I tried to ignore him. By the way, this chapter comes from the chapter named Kindness. And then he said, as the contradiction grew more embarrassing, came a noise. So I would jump up and help him, but resent the fact that my practice had once again been interrupted. Because I'm a slow learner, it took me weeks before I realized. It took weeks before I realized this is the practice. If I have to sit cross-legged on a cushion to experience boundlessness, that's a boundary. That's a boundary. Pulling beer up the stairs is the meditation, and Big Fred is the teacher. So what do we create as a boundary, as a blocker? Do you have Big Freds in your life? Do you have good reasons as to why you're not practicing what it is that you know that brings you into this moment, that brings you into a deeper connection with the divine, that keeps you focused on what you've learned? And I know you've learned a lot. I know, because I know you. I know many of you. I know the books you read and all the things that you do, the givingness, the generosity that you have, the kindness that you do. But yet there could be those things, those distractions, those annoying neighbors, that annoying family member that is your teacher, that is here as your special teacher to help you stay grounded and focused in the now moment, where you do have the power to create through your thoughts, through your words, and through your actions. So then there's those bigger distractions, those really big distractions that keep us from our practice, that keep us out of principle, the principle of love and oneness and kindness and generosity and wholeness. I'm sure many of you know that in April of this year, 147 students were shot in Kenya. Recently in Beirut, a suicide bombing occurred. 47 dead and nearly 200 injured. And more recently, Paris, with so many dead and so many affected. Can those things be a distraction to us? Yes. Can we do something? Maybe. But one thing I know that we can do, if we're committed to our spiritual path, to living in alignment, is that we can stay in our practice. It's not a time to abandon what we know to be right and true and good and helpful, such as meditation and prayer and acts of kindness. It's a time to engage even more to the now moment. If I have to have a perfect world in order to be of earthly good, then is it ever going to happen? We don't live in a perfect world. But we do. Because there's nothing wrong with everything that's happening. From the broader perspective, this one life has many ups and downs. So how do we stay our course, stay focused in the now? One of my friends and a teacher, Reverend David Alt, who has a large center for spiritual living like ours in Atlanta, Georgia, he made a call for a prayer a couple of weeks ago. And this is his prayer, so maybe you just settle in and take a breath and enter into this now moment with this prayer and allow this prayer to be your prayer. Morning and evening, let us join together and pray. Let us pray with expectation for Paris, for Beirut, for the slums of nations who are starved for love, for you and I who cannot seem to reconcile our differences long enough to recognize our oneness. Please pray together now. All barriers to peace in my mind dissolve. All barriers to peace in my heart dissolve. All barriers to peace in my eyes dissolve. All barriers to my peace in my actions dissolve. Divine order is here. Peace is here now. And only peace shall remain. Peace within me. Peace around me. And as I personalize this prayer, I participate in the restoration of our world. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. It is done. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And so it is from this moment forward. A simple prayer makes a difference. Being present to the now moment makes a difference. Taking the newspaper or looking on the internet to see all these awful things that are happening around the world, or even here in Ogden, are simply opportunities for us to go to prayer, to state what we know, that we make a difference, each one of us make a difference. With the thoughts we think, with the prayers we say, we have the ability to not allow situations and circumstances to take us out of the now moment where we have the creative power to be of some earthly good. We have the opportunity to make a commitment that everything that is happening out there, whatever that is, doesn't become your because, your B cause, your A cause, your number one cause, is remembering your divinity, your because, or your because, or your reason. To not be that divinity could be any number of things. It could be happening in Beirut, Paris, or the slums around the world. It could be happening in your family. I'm not happy because they're not acting the way I want them to. I'm not the presence of peace because my bank account says 0. I'm not going to meditate today because what's his name's coming up the stairs with his beer bottles. Big Fred. What is your because? What is taking you out of this moment where you have power? Maybe you think about that today. Maybe you focus on, why am I here? I'm a child of the divine. I'm a child of the universe, here for 100 or so years. What will they say when you make your transition? Will they say she was a beneficial presence on the planet? Or will they say that, well, she intended to live a good life, but she had lots of causes? So I'd like to close with a little meditation to take you further into the now moment. And this meditation is based on the teachings of Gary Zukav. Guidelines to experience authentic power. And by the way, authentic power is power that you gain from being connected with yourself and not seeking external power by wishing things around you were different. It doesn't happen. True power comes from within. Isn't that what Glenda the Good Witch said? You had it all along. It was within you. So please close your eyes. Take a breath. In this moment, there is plenty of time. In this moment, you are precisely as you should be. In this moment, there is infinite possibility. We are in a space, in time, right now, in this moment, between what has been and what will be. And yet it is what we do now that determines our destiny. So as you breathe and relax and settle, and you simply close the door to the past for now. And you close the door to the future for now. And as you simply let go, and you sink in to the now moment, you open that doorway within yourself that gives you access to this infinite realm of love and peace. And you say to yourself, in the quietness of your own heart, today I am committed to making me my highest priority. I pay attention to my thoughts. I pay attention to my reactions, especially to the challenges I encounter. If I experience anger, fear, jealousy, resentment, or impatience, I ask myself, is it true? I come back to the now, come back to reality, and I breathe and know that all is well. If I find myself in self-judgment, shame, or blame, I simply take a breath and come back to the now. And I know that this too shall pass. If I find myself criticizing, judging, or comparing myself to others, I simply remember who I am. I am here to be the presence of love, of beauty. And I come back to the now. I come back to this place and I choose reality. I make friends with reality. And I choose gratitude, cooperation, harmony. I choose love. Today I pay attention to my emotions by feeling the physical sensations in my body. And as I breathe deep, cleansing breaths and release stress and tension, I breathe in peace and happiness and strength and love and creativity, wisdom and bliss. I am courageous. I stretch myself beyond the limited perspectives of my ego. I take responsibility for my feelings, my experiences, and my actions. I practice integrity at all times. My thoughts, my words, and my actions align. I speak my truth, even if I'm scared sometimes. I have the courage to ask for what I want, for what I desire. My life is my highest priority, and I commit to showing up for the highest and best good of all. I come back to the now. I breathe and know that all is well, for I am a compassionate soul. I see myself and others as always doing our best. I come back to the now. I breathe and know that all is well. I trust myself. I act with kindness. I release all attachments to outcome and become a lover of what is. I simply begin again, moment by moment, committed, courageous, compassionate. I commit to be happy. I commit to give. I commit to serve. I am a beneficial presence on this planet. Just breathe that in. And I close with prayer. There is only one life, one power, one presence, one infinite organizing intelligence that is everything I see, I know, I taste, I touch, I feel. It is this very thing called life. This intelligence is always seeking expression through me. It is always responding to my words. This is true for all sentient beings. So I speak my word this morning for all of us in this room, knowing that a word is simply a movement of energy, and everything is energy. So the universe responds to this movement of energy that I call a prayer today. This is an activation of energy within my body now, within your body, if you align with these words. In this now moment, I speak my word for peace. I speak my word for happiness. I speak my word for strength and power, unconditional love and kindness. I speak my word for creativity, creating a world that works for all. And I speak my word for truth, with a capital T, reality. I speak my word for my divinity, to remember who I am and why I'm here, to be the presence of love, to extend a helping hand, to stay focused in my own business, deeply in my practice of being true to myself. And as I do so, I affect the world in a positive way. There is healing taking place right here. There is truth being realized right here. Life is so good, and we are so blessed. Thank you. And so it is. So it is.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Allie and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.